So Sony and PS5, PS4, PlayStation, I should say, have pretty much declared war on CD Projekt Red by blocking the game from being launched on the PS4 and PS5 due to its issues. Now, this is quite a big deal. Welcome back to the channel, by the way. Please sub and share as you like and comment below. But yeah, this is pretty much a big deal. It's a very bold statement to make from Sony, but a very stupid one in the foreseeable future. Firstly, they've basically blocked the game from being sold on any of their networks and stuff, so you can't buy the game. And I believe this includes physical. Secondly, they were denying refunds. By the way, how refunds work on the PlayStation, if you're unaware, the same issue happened with. This is pretty much the exact same issue, if not worse, happened with No Man's Sky. A lot of people are forgetting about this because it was pretty much silence, wasn't much a big deal, and so did not block it from their PSN or their networks because they supported the game. They published the game. Well, they didn't publish the game, but they promoted the game and they helped fund the game, and then they also helped fund based the lies that we know there was a long list of features missing, just like Cyberpunk, a long list of features missing, and there was groundbreaking bugs as well. I mean, some people that completed the game No Man's Sky were faced with just the game crashing at the end. The game just crashed, didn't get in to see anything. No, I don't think there was one. I don't think they thought people would complete it. They did. The game just crashed. It didn't have anything there. And Sony's pretty much supported this and refused refunds. But those that did get refunds, Sony said to them, and this is the refund policy, that any game that's refunded off on your PlayStation is basically blocked permanently. They delete your license. This means you can never purchase the game again, ever, be it digital or physical. So they completely block the game in its entirety from your system. So even if the Cyberpunk down the line, say 1 or 2 years, gets better, just like No Man's Sky did, that was given grace for 2 years to improve, while people were paying £60 for that indie game, that was given time to grow, and then it's won awards since then, amazingly enough, when it should have done, because the game is still tripe as I've played it, because it's on Game Pass. So that was allowed to grow because it's basically Sony helped support it. Cyberpunk, though, they're completely blocking it, and yes, and if the game does grow and improve later on, because they did promise a multiplayer mode, just like Red Dead 2, multiplayer mode next year. So when this game eventually does grow and improve, you still will not be able to play the game if you've had it refunded. So that's sort of like a double-edged sword there. Some people are going to think, oh, I want my money back, but then people won't want to permanently be blocked from the game, will they? You just wouldn't. You'd think, oh, I want my money now, but I might rebuy it later. But Sony like, nope, buy it now or never again, which is pretty definite and pretty harsh on their gamers. But I think they're trying to be pro-consumer here, but it's not coming across as that. It's coming across, to me anyway, that they're playing sort of a game here. That obviously, whereas they've let some games slide, like Anthem, No Man's Sky, as I mentioned, Life of the Black Tiger, we could throw in there. Fallout 76. They've let certain games slide with the issues. But this game, no, they've gone complete to war. And I just wonder if it's more of a case that they're sort of a bit pro Xbox, because they do put their games in there, and they've Xbox has got sort of some advertising rights and stuff like that to them. I wonder if they're being more anti-Xbox with this view, and or if they're trying to shun them because they're trying to ruin their future, basically, because they did threaten the major development teams at Sony. As we all know, people put Witcher 3 on a pedestal, and to be honest, I didn't like Witcher 3. I played it, tried it twice actually. Bought it originally, sold it, didn't like it, then played it again on Game Pass, thought I'll give it another go now. This is about 2 years after launch. Still didn't like it, deleted it again. Didn't like the game, didn't like the combat. Just I don't like it for my own reasons. Right? It's irrelevant, really, isn't it? Why I don't like a game. I shouldn't have to justify myself like no one should. But this is put on a pedestal by many gamers. They were seen as an amazing top tier development team. And then there's sadly this game, as it happens to all at some point, just the same as The Last of Us 2 happened to Naughty Dog, this has happened to CD Projekt Red, and and we've seen it before. We've seen these games hit by poor issues and development teams for whatever reason. It could be COVID, it could be budget restraints, it could be trying to make the game cross-gen, which I think plays a major factor because games trying to sort of be happy, make everyone happy, which I can sort of agree with because at the end of the day, if you make a game sort of exclusive to next-gen consoles, you're not going to sell much software. Now, when you're putting £100 million into a game, but you're selling it to consoles that have only sold 10 million, you're not going to make your money back. So they have to make these games cross-gen, unfortunately. So people are saying, oh, they should have made it just next-gen. You could have done, but then they would have to have delayed the game for at least 1 or 2 years, which sort of Halo Infinite are going down because Xbox don't rely on just Halo Infinite. They've got a load of other games coming out, etc. Whereas CD Projekt Red only have this title to rely on to make their money back. If they delay it for another year, they've still got to pay developers money. They've still got to pay their wages and stuff, etc. So it is a bit hard to just say, well, you should just delay it for a year. You can't just, it's not just that simple. That's how business works, I'm afraid. They can't just, they've already delayed it 6 months, basically. You can't just delay a game off a whim like that. But how I think it's going to backlash overall to Sony is I think this is going to play more into Xbox hands. What I will now see in the future is this game going to Game Pass. I think this same game, I mean, there was and R in it beforehand and there was hints at it, but this game will now most definitely go to Game Pass. Also, I see Xbox going, as Sony push them aside and saying, shunned, we dislike you. I see Xbox going, oh, hello, join our studios, just like Bethesda, just like what happened with them in Fallout 76 and how they took a massive nosedive. Fallout 4 wasn't as big as a hit as well. They took a nosedive as well, and some of their games are taking nosedives. So Xbox picked them up, went and bought them quite cheaply, really, for just £7.5 billion. But the point is that I think I wouldn't be surprised if now Xbox make a power move for CD Projekt Red. I wouldn't be surprised if they go to talk to them. CD Projekt Red, they've got investors and stuff that will take a bit of a nosedive. The game sales are going to be a massive nosedive. They're going to owe loads of money. I very likely see this game coming quite soon now, being pushed forward to Game Pass and being supported, as games generally are on Game Pass. Like Ark went to Game Pass, No Man's Sky, Game Pass, Sea of Thieves, Game Pass. All these games generally go to Game Pass and are very well supported, and then that you get an influx of money. Basically, just you get players that are enjoying the game. I mean, they're playing the game just on Game Pass. It's more or less free, so then you're quite happy to spend microtransactions on games that are free. I did that for Naruto, for example. Naruto to buy was £60, but I did it on Game Pass, so it was free. So I bought loads of microtransactions, things that give me extra powers or give me costumes and things like that, because I'm quite happy to spend money if I enjoy the game. If I didn't enjoy the game, I would have deleted it. That's how things work. That's how life works. You see, if I do enjoy it, then I've not spent 60 quid on it, so I'll spend the 60 quid on microtransactions instead, which go into the revenue of the game. Exactly the same. So people give microtransactions a lot of bad press. Microtransactions aren't really that bad unless they are unless they affect actual gaming, competitive gaming themselves. Like if it gives you an edge over another gamer, for example, then it is bad. Microtransactions shouldn't be dominate sort of the competitive gaming sort of world. Can't put my finger on the word now, but see my point. But if it's buying a costume or buying extra power and things, I can't see how microtransactions are bad for anyone. It's your choice. It's exactly it's up to your game, the gamer's choice. People shouldn't be taking microtransactions away from gamers if they like their characters wearing certain costumes. It's actually pathetic. So where was I? I've lost my narrative there. No, yep, let's go back. So what I think Xbox will do is that I think Xbox will probably pick up CD Projekt Red in the future. I reckon it'll go to Game Pass, they will support it, it will pick up. They will go into talk to CD Projekt Red, and then they'll buy CD Projekt Red, and then put them under their wing, and then just like Bethesda and all the others, then we'll start seeing these games all going to Game Pass, or as they already are. I think Witcher 1, 2 and 3 are already on Game Pass. And then I think we'll probably see then Witcher 4 exclusive. because I think CD Projekt Red at the end of the day will not look well on Sony for doing this, for completely shunning them. I don't think they're gonna see Sony in a good light going forward. And even if Microsoft don't buy them, they may completely just sort of make games, just sort of as Insomniac did, and for Sony and things that other sort of developers do, make games just for Xbox in the future. Might have a deal with Xbox, or even if they're not owned by them, might just make exclusives for them and PC and Steam and stuff, and completely negate PlayStation. That's totally possible as well. But it's all very interesting what's going on with CD Projekt Red. They was held on a pedestal. It's not their fault. You know, people liked Witcher 3 a lot. I didn't. So you can't really blame them from that. Was the game overhyped? Yes, as many games are. Did they lie? Yes, they did mislead players. They 100% did mislead players too. But I can't see why it's the typical case where people build someone up and then they like to see who they've built up crumble. Naughty Dog's the same. Everyone had them on a massive pedestal. Last of Us was poor. Yeah, a quarter of the fan base saying no, it's still amazing. It wasn't. It was awful. And then people started putting Naughty Dog down. Unfortunately, in that scenario, for example, Sony blocked negative. Unlike CD Projekt Red, Sony blocked any negative views on Last of Us 2. They paid Metacritic to delete user scores, negative user scores for Last of Us 2. They banned a lot of things to do with Last of Us 2. And then they went and bought the Game Awards. So Last of Us 2 won Game of the Year against everyone's amazement and disgust. Everyone was disgusted that that won and called the whole thing a complete shambles, including many pro Sony channels like Angry Joe and such. And then No Man's Sky is another one, a massive lie, supported by Sony, but you know they were okay with No Man's Sky because it was an exclusive at the time. But then other games have dodged the bullet, like Fallout 76 become a meme and got a lot of jokes, but it did affect Bethesda, but we all forgot about it, and it sort of just become a joke, and that was it. No more was said. Anthem 2. So I think everyone's been a bit harsh on CD Projekt Red. You built them up, you made them what they are, so don't then blame them for your hype. Okay, don't hype them up and then be upset that they've not reached the targets that you built them up to be. You see, I never had much hope for them anyway because I didn't like Witcher 3. So the game looked good. Cyberpunk did look amazing. I was really hyped for it, but my hype wasn't as high as many others. So I'll stop rambling there. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and goodbye for now.